Number 12. Factor each trinomial or binomial. Okay, to factor this, if we have a simple x here with no coefficient, we can just draw a parentheses. We'll start with an x here, an x here. Okay, now, to find the numbers that go into these other two places, let's go ahead and use our X box, for those of you who like to use that. Okay, remember the numbers are going to have to multiply to get this number, and add to get the number in the middle. So we need to ask ourselves which two numbers will multiply to get 16 and add to get 10. And I see that's 2 and 8. So we can make that x plus 2 and x plus 8. So if we check, we can do x times x is x squared, 2x and 8x is 10x, and 2 times 8 is 16, so it works out. Let's look at number 13. Okay, again, we've got a single letter in front. So let's just put y right here, and y right here, and then our x box. Two numbers have to multiply to give us negative 12, and add to give us positive 11. Okay. So if they have to multiply to be negative 12, one's going to have to be negative, one's going to have to be positive. Well, if I look at the factors of that, if I have negative 12 and positive 1, that would give us negative 11. But if I do positive 12 and negative 1, that would give us 11. So this would be positive 12 and negative 1 are our factors. So we do y minus 1 and y plus 12. You can do that in either order. Works out either way. Number 14. We've got 3x squared plus 2x, plus 5x plus 2. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is bring them apart. We're going to take some parentheses here, some parentheses here. Okay, we're going to take the 3x squared and put it here. We're going to put the 2 on this side. And now we need to find out what goes in the middle. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our x box here. Now remember, when we have a coefficient in front of the x, we have to multiply these to get the top number. So 3 times 2 is going to be 6. And the bottom number is going to be right here. That would be 5. Now they're both positive. So two numbers will multiply to get 6 and add to get 5. I can see that's going to be 2 and 3. So we're going to put plus 2x here. Remember, we have to have the x after it. And then we'll have the 3x right here, and it's still positive 2. Okay. So now we need to factor out a greatest common factor here. So on this side, the greatest common factor that I see is x. So I'm going to take an x out of here and put x on the outside. 3x squared divided by x is 3x plus 2x divided by x is just 2. Okay. Now, the only thing that factors out of this is 1, so we can put 1 here plus 1. Open parentheses, and then 3x divided by 1 is 3x. 2 divided by 1 is 2. So now this is where we check and see if we got the right answer. Since these match in the middle, we've got the right answer. So now we just need to put these in parentheses. So open parentheses, x plus 1, close parentheses, and 3x plus 2 goes in our other one. And that is factored. Now, 15 is a little bit different because we've got something like this. I can see right away that I'm going to have to factor out the greatest common factor. Let's see if I can factor out the difference of the squares. So I know that 5 goes into this and 5 goes into negative 80 as well. So if I take a 5, put it outside the parentheses, here I'm going to have x squared. Negative 80 divided by 5 is negative 16. So now, as you can see, I do have difference of squares. So if you remember, we're going to leave the 5 outside. If we have this, we know that one of them is going to be x minus the square root of this, which is 4. And the other one's going to be x plus 4. Because if we multiply all this out, we'll have a negative 4x and a positive 4x. They'll cancel. We'll have x squared. X times x is x squared. Negative 4 times 4 is negative 16. So that is our answer for number 15. Number 16. Okay, again, we don't have a coefficient here, so we can just put an x at the beginning of the first parentheses and x at the beginning of the second. Our x box here. Okay, so the two numbers are going to have to multiply to give us negative 8 and add or subtract to give us negative 2. Okay, so factors of negative 8, one's going to have to be negative, one's going to be positive, and since this is a negative down here, we're going to make the negative bigger. So if we have negative 4 times 2, that would give us negative 8. Negative 4 plus 2 will give us negative 2. So our answer is going to be negative 4 and 2. And just put negative 4 and plus 2. And we're done. If you'd like to multiply that back out to check it, you can. X times x is x squared. Outside we've got negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. And inside we've got negative 4x and positive 2x is negative 2x, so it checks out. So that is the correct answer. X minus 4 and x plus 2. Number 17. Okay, we got 2x squared. Alright, so got a coefficient, so we're going to put 2x squared here. Close parentheses, and on this end we're going to put negative 3. We're going to need our x box. Okay, and then we have a coefficient. We're going to multiply, so 2 times negative 3, put negative 6 up here. Then we're going to have negative 5. Okay, so our two numbers are going to have to multiply to give us negative 6 and add or subtract to give us negative 5. So one's positive, one's negative. Let's start with negative 6 and positive 1. Negative 6 times positive 1 is negative 6, and negative 6 plus positive 1 is negative 5. So negative 6 and positive 1. And we can put that on either side, so let's just go ahead and put the negative 6 here, and don't forget we have to put an x after it. We put the 1 on this side, so we don't have to write that in, but we do need to put an x on this side. So now, we're not done yet. We're going to have to factor out something here on either side. So I see that a 2x will go into both of these. So I'm going to take a 2x on the outside. If we do 2x squared divided by 2x, that gives us x, minus 6x divided by 2x is just 3. And I can see on this side, I've got x minus 3 already, so let's bring that down here, and I'll know that I have a 1 right here in front. So that gives me 2x plus 1 in the first set of parentheses, and in the second we've got x minus 3. And that's the end of that one. Okay, number 18. We've got 2x squared minus 20x plus 32. Okay, well first of all, I see that these are some really big numbers. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce this by factoring something out of here. I know 2 goes into all these, so I'm going to take a 2 right on the outside. Then I've got x squared minus 20 divided by 2 is 10, so that would be 10x. And 32 divided by 2 is 16, so that would be plus 16. And close our parentheses. Alright, now we need to factor this. So this is for our x box. Okay. So they're going to have to multiply to give us 16 and add to give us negative 10 there. And they would both be negative, so factors of 16, 8, and 2. Okay, so we're going to make that negative 8, negative 2. So we'll have 2 on the outside. We'll have x minus 8 and x minus 2. And that is your answer for number 18. 19. Okay, as you can see, we've got the difference of squares here again. Now we have the difference of squares. We just put this x in the front, x in the back. Hopefully you know that the square root of 49 is 7, so we're going to do a plus 7 here, and a minus 7 there, and we're done with that one. Okay. Now, 20. Which of the following is a factor of 3x squared plus 5x minus 12? Okay. What we're going to have to do is we're going to have to factor this and see which one fits. Okay, so let's start right, well, let's start right over here. So we've got 3x squared plus 5x minus 12. Okay. Now, let's see, we're going to have a 3x squared on this side. And we have a minus 12 on this side. So we can do our x box. Okay. 3 times negative 12 is negative 36, so that's going on top. And positive 5 on the bottom. So we need factors of 36 that are going to multiply to be negative 36 and add to be positive negative 5. Okay. So, let me see, 36 and 1, no, 18 and 2, no, 12 and 3, no, 9 and 4, there we go. So 9 and 4, since this is positive, our biggest one's going to be positive, so it's going to be positive 9 and negative 4. Okay, so that gives us 3x squared plus 9x, and we would have negative 4x minus 12. Go ahead and factor something out of that. So I can take 3x out of both of these. So 3x squared divided by 3x is x. Let's put our 3x on the outside. And plus 9x divided by 3x is 3. Okay, and then these we can divide by negative 4. So put negative 4 outside. Negative 4x divided by negative 4 is x. Negative 12 divided by negative 4 is positive 3. So there we have it. So now our factors are 3x minus 4 and x plus 3. And you can see that the answer is D. And that is number 20.